Is Paul vs Tyson just a facade? A lot of people seem to think so, but I've been following and watching Tyson for most of my life and I disagree. A lot of people thought that the Tyson v. Jones fight was going to be a clown show, and while the judges scored it as a draw, there was a lot of controversy around how Vinny Pazinza scored the fight 7,680 for Jones. Tyson outlanded Jones by a wide margin, and this scorecard is literal insanity. I bring that specific fight up because it's the source of a fantastic quote about the type of fighter Tyson is. I spoke with Mike Tyson about 10 days ago, and I told him he doesn't know the meaning of the word exhibition. It's true. Tyson is always looking for the KO. Reputation be damned, Tyson is going to try and lay Paul flat. I am here for it. Yes, Jake Paul doesn't want to get Tyson angry. Even an age-diminished Tyson is still Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is an amateur boxer with a great talent for self-promotion. This fight will make a lot of money from people who want to see Tyson land one good uppercut on him, and people who want to see Tyson fight one last time, and people who like Jake Paul. But it's only marginally less prearranged than Logan Paul's upcoming WrestleMania match. And Logan's rather more likely to leave his match with an injury given the way he hurls himself about a wrestling ring. Rumor is that the regulations for the match are super weird. Headgear being used, 18 Oz gloves, etc. I'm sure it will be like all the other Jake Paul matches. An influencer who boxes only old, washed up, retired fighters. It's an absolute farce. A complete mockery of combat sports. Hell, sign me up. I'm old and retired, and was never really good enough to be considered washed up. I suspect that I would never get invited back, because I also suspect that Paul doesn't like knees and elbows from the clinch or leg kicks very much. One payday would be plenty for me though. I don't care about Tyson, Paul or any sort of fighting sports, but it's obvious even to me that there is no sporting aspect to this fight, only hype and money. A former legend and an overhyped wannabe. I think it's unusually cruel to Tyson. Whatever the consequences are physically, his body won't recover nearly as well as a younger guy. Nobody who cares about Tyson wants this fight, it only benefits Paul. Pretty much all exhibition matches are going to be a bit of a facade since there really isn't anything to gain for either boxer aside from the money they are already guaranteed. Especially since Tyson isn't as insanely intense as he used to be, it should be true for this match as well. Now, if we were talking about Tyson in his prime, I don't think it would matter to him one bit that this was an exhibition match. He'd still try to KO the other guy in the first round. It should still be an interesting match to watch though. Yes, Paul is a fraud indeed. Of course, Jake Paul isn't suicidal. This is clearly just a new music video for DJ Jazzy Jeff the Fresh Prince. I think I can beat Mike Tyson's. Yes, it's a money play. Both are going to make a lot of money regardless of the outcome, and that's the point. It's like McGregor vs Mayweather, it wasn't serious, and they both made a mountain of money. Two gentlemen are going to spar for a few rounds and walk away with several $1 million. Neither of them is entering the ring with the mentality of I am going to destroy my opponent. It's a show match. Does that make it fake? Maybe. Yes. All these exhibition matches are a joke. Many of them have even had it written into the contract you're not allowed to KO your opponent. All these are money grabs for goofballs willing to buy the PPV. 100 yes. The contract likely includes a no payout to Tyson if he knocks him out, even on accident. It's presumably just going to be an exhibition match with headgear or other controls, as no sports commission is actually going to let a 57-year-old who hasn't had a professional fight in nearly 20 years box a 27-year-old with a 9-1 record, no matter how good his training montages on Instagram look. I expect most likely Jake Paul will simply beat him on points by jabbing at him from range for however many rounds they do. But a knockout artist always has a chance, and Tyson could certainly knock people out in his day, and that's the draw that will make money. Paul knows how to play the unlikable asshole, and he knows people will pay money in the hope of seeing him get knocked out. Fair play to the guy, he knows how to make millions and millions by manipulating the general public. In the Lone Star State, fighting is overseen by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, which is not known for zealous enforcement of the codes governing combat sports. These include a requirement that fighters pass a per-fight medical exam showing them fit for competition, a subjective standard. But even so, it's difficult to imagine being met by Tyson, who has a history of head trauma and suffers from nerve pain known as sciatica, which can occasionally leave him needing to use a wheelchair. As of now, the department has yet to issue any sort of approval for the fight, because it has not been asked to do so, it said. The promoter has requested to have an event that day, but we have not received any proposed cards and thus have no details about what they are planning. All bouts are subject to review and approval by TDLR, a spokesperson for the department tells Front Office Sports. I personally do not care what anyone else says. I simply will not believe that even a 58-yo Mike Tyson could ever just mail it in even for a supposed exhibition fight until I see it with my own eyes. It's easy to see that age has indeed mellowed his personality, but I cannot believe that Tyson's instincts won't just take over at some point and he'll try to knock Paul's head off. With that said, Tyson noted last year that Paul was actually good for the sport of boxing, as he's kinda been the most exciting, or at least the most talked about thing to happen in years. Plus he keeps winning against fighters he shouldn't be beating, so at some point you have to respect that. So, while I fully acknowledge Tyson isn't the ferocious animal he once was and may just be in this for a paycheck, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. It's just for show. The boxing part is real as in they step into a ring to punch each other, everything else is a facade. They are both in it for the money, period. It's just a gimmick where Jake Paul fights some celebrity. They are hyped marketed, that's 99 of the fight right there. They go into a ring with odd rules regulations, get paid and go home. They are both in on it, but will probably do shit talking to sell the fight. No headgear for Paul anymore. HTTPS